11:28 a.m. in Chile right now, Eastern Daylight Time, and there's still people on the shoreline. I assume they are awaiting the waves here because the waves could be anywhere from 1 meter to 3 meters above tide level. And for those tuning in, let me quickly get you. I'm quickly producing a graphic to let you guys know what we know so far. But I will quickly tell you what we know so far. So here's what we know. At least one person has been.
Far appears consistent with the opening phase of a broader military campaign. The priority in the first several hours is typically to disable Taiwan's air defenses, radar systems, and command structures. If those capabilities are weakened, it gives China the ability to operate aircraft and missiles with far less resistance, which could pave the way for either continued bombardment or potentially larger operations later.
You mentioned larger operations. Many viewers are wondering whether this is a limited strike operation or the beginning of a full-scale invasion attempt. Is there any indication yet which direction this might be heading?
At 7 hours in, it's still difficult to say definitively. However, analysts are watching for a few key indicators. One would be large amphibious fleet movements leaving Chinese ports. Another would be sustained missile and air campaigns targeting infrastructure across Taiwan, not just military bases. If those things begin happening, it would strongly suggest this is transitioning from a punitive strike campaign into an attempt to force capitulation or invasion conditions.
Before we let you go, Dr. Carter, what are the next 12 to 24 hours likely to tell us about where this crisis is headed?
The next day will be critical. Analysts will be watching for 3 things. First, whether China continues sustained strike waves. Second, whether Taiwan's military remains operational and capable of defense. And third, how quickly the international community moves from statements to concrete actions. Those 3 factors will tell us whether this remains a limited confrontation or the beginning of a much larger conflict.
Dr. Michael Carter, geopolitical analyst, joining us by phone tonight. We appreciate your insight during what is clearly a very serious moment internationally. This is clearly a rapidly developing and extremely serious situation as we continue to monitor the conflict unfolding between China and Taiwan. Again, it has now been about 7 hours since the first waves of Chinese airstrikes began, with multiple reports of additional military activity across the Taiwan Strait. We're continuing to track new information coming in from international officials, regional military sources, and global leaders as the response to this crisis develops. We're going to take a very short break. When we return, we'll have the latest updates on the strikes, the international response, and what analysts say could happen in the next critical hours. Stay with us. You're watching Continuing Coverage.